Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gen. We're live waiting for Zomedica's financial results from Q2. As a reminder, this is our favorite pet healthcare company. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video with someone you know, and let's cross our fingers. Let's see what happens with Zomedica. I'm just going to keep refreshing the page here. We sort of are expecting to get their results today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Where typically I think the results come out at 4 o'clock, which is right now, but the call is at 4:30. Maybe we'll attend it, maybe we won't. We'll see how this goes. Let's check it out. And meanwhile, I'm just going to check online as well while this is going on to see if Zomedica has posted elsewhere on stock. But as a quick update, today we had some really positive news with the CPI. So I made a video yesterday talking about sort of what we had to anticipate. And I told you, if we even met expectations of 0.2% for CPI, we would see a positive run up in the stock market. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw a more than positive run up in the morning, and it kind of sort of petered out near the end of the day. But fantastic. And also on top of that, one of my favorite stocks, Disney, has also seen a huge run up. Let's keep refreshing this here. Where's the earnings results? Some stock. It's so funny because all the other times they're so like on the ball, like it's been out at 4 p.m. But it's like 4:01 right now and they don't have it out. I'm gonna keep refreshing it. Hey, if you're live in here, comment, let me know, like, what are your thoughts? Are you excited? Like, remember the last couple of earnings calls have not been good. Wherever we've been in Zomedica, we've sort of seen that sort of miniature dump. Like, let me just kind of bring out here and bring this up over here. You can see here, oh, it's harder to see here because by the month, but if we do it by the day, you can sort of see that like it's pretty much been negative every time they've had an earnings report. Where are we? Yeah, so we're still waiting here for the time ended June 23. Will this stock hit all-time highs again? If so, when do you think we see movement? There's a couple of things that influence that, Alonzo. The first thing I would say here, by the way, before I say anything else, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube. You gotta do your own research. Don't just listen to somebody who turns on a camera and starts talking to you about stocks, because at the end of the day, no one's more invested than you. But I think it is possible for this stock to hit all-time highs. A couple things have to happen. Number one, they've got to be profitable. This is something where Zomedica has struggled for a long time. And the reason that this matters is if they're not profitable, they're going to be burning a lot of cash, right? Month or quarter over quarter, having a net loss results in the company being worth less and less and less. So in that sort of circumstance, the more time goes on, the worse the company gets. Of course, if they become profitable, then the longer the time goes, the more the company's value expands, right? That's the first thing. Number two, in the absence of this, we would need a hyper bullish market, one we saw in 2020, where it didn't matter what stock you had, it didn't matter what your ticker symbol was. Like if the ticker ears went up, the ticker I went up, just because, hey, oh my God, maybe there's a correlation. When there was tons of silly money in the market, all these stupid companies just got propped up. I'm not saying Zomedica is stupid. I'm saying that there's a lot of stupid companies that got propped up. It makes it easier for companies that aren't proven to also get propped up. And Zomedica is not a proven stock yet. It'll be proven once it shows that it's on the path to profitability. You know, they've really shown it with PulseVet, but we really have to see it with Truforma, CC Health, and the others, right? So that would be very interesting. Let's go back here and refresh again. Maybe the results are coming out. Well, while we're doing that, maybe I'll open up our previous earnings results. So this was from, Q1, right? So we sort of have a benchmark of how to really do the analysis. Are they really reporting? I see sometimes apps like Robinhood are wrong. No, they definitely are reporting. They said it even here, right? 6 days ago, they were going to host their second quarter financial results call on August 10th. So if they don't do it, reported wise, what I will do is I will just sort of stream the call and the audio for everyone here, so you can listen to it. Okay. So we'll just make sure that happens. And I'll keep clicking here to sort of see if anything gets updated. It's funny because this is the first time I'm doing their earnings sort of live. Most of the time I've always had a message on my phone, hey, look, Zomedica earnings are out. And every time I would see it, I'd be like, oh, I wish it was better, especially in 2021, where it was like, hey guys, guess what? Good news, we sold 1 unit of truforma. And then the next month or next quarter, we sold another unit of truforma. It was pretty deflating, let me tell you that. So we'll just keep checking this out. But if we look at where we benchmarked last time, the revenue was up 45%. They had 5.5 million in Q1. The gross margin is fantastic at 70%. But really what we care about a lot is what was their overall result, right? So it was a net loss of $6.4 million, right? And previously, before that was 3.9 million, right? Yes, they did expanded commercial activities, but guess what? I want to see expanded revenue this time. Or I want to see, more revenue, less expenses, right? That's number one. Number two is we want to make sure that they're keeping up a ton of cash. They have $147.5 million 3 months ago. And that was compared to 195 million a year. Wait, what? Oh, a year before that. They just put the wrong date. This is supposed to be 2022. And the reason I say that is that's about $48 million, right? We don't have that runway for them to keep just burning cash. If they do that, they will have to end up raising capital. And you know who gets punished for that? We do. The investors will always be the ones who get punished for that. And the company doesn't care, because for the company, the goal of the CEO is to ensure long-term profitability. So they have to make sure that they can fund their operations. But then if you're an investor, why would you buy into a stock that's going to dilute you? I'm going to click on this and see what's going on. I'll bring this over here. Okay. I'm just going to sign up for the actual, I'll be signing up for this quarterly financials call just in case. You guys hear this? Let me know. It'd be useful to know. I muted it right now, but this music is so annoying. And by that I mean the music of the investor call. But it's gonna go live in about 22 minutes. And when it does, let me know if you can hear the audio when it does. If not, I will sort of tell you what's happening as it's happening, because it's very important for us. Meanwhile, I'll continue to refresh Google and see what's going on here. My set selling point is $7. I don't care how many years it takes, or take it to zero. Wow. Alonzo, do you mind sharing when you bought into Zomedica? What's your average price, and how many shares you have? And have you considered sort of buying on dips, selling every time it goes up 20, 30, 40%, just those swing shares, and sort of doing that again and again? That's how I have made a bunch of money in Zomedica over the last probably 18 months. Let's see here what's going on. Yeah, so the last time they did this, they reported their results at 4:25 last time. So there's a potential that they do it 15 minutes before they go live with the investor call. If they do that, then I won't have to go live on the investor call with you guys. But let's see. Michael Miller asks, what is the timeline for the analyst price target of $6? I'll be honest with you, the analysts don't know what the hell they're talking about. Straight up. If you look at any of these analysts, they literally like just go like this. Just like literally like might as well throw a dart at a dartboard. If the stock goes up, they put the price target up. The stock goes down, they put the price target down. If you want, I don't want to say a real price target because there was a ton of assumptions built in. But if you look at my channel, I'm just gonna find the video. I go to Zomedica, and if I go to I made a video on Zomedica, like a deep dive A to Z on the company. I think that this is probably one of your best resources on the actual thing. So here, this thing. So I'm going to paste this link here. This link is the link to a video, and I'll put this in the description as well. It's a video that I made called the only Zomedica video you ever have to watch. Right? Well, I just put this in thing. So maybe I'll bring this up on the screen. So can you see this? So let me zoom in. Not this one. So you see the full Zomedica deep dive right here. It's like 25 minutes long. I go from A to Z. I analyze every single thing about the company. This video is about, 2 years old now. Got 5,000 views, but it was literally like a super deep dive with a full simulation. I have a bear, a neutral, and a bull market case on where I think the stock goes and what the things that have to happen. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you do it. Even if you sort of don't listen to all of it, I've broken it down into chapters. And as you can tell here, this is sort of like my old setup. You can probably see I still have the lights in the background with very similar color, but I've changed a ton of things. You know what I mean? I'm also a lot more comfortable in front of a camera now, as you can probably imagine. I've averaged down to 73 cents holding 21K shares. Wow. So that's about $16,000, $17,000. Damn. 11,000 shares at 29 cents. That's a pretty awesome deal, Michael. Still looking at average cost down. That is nice. That's like, I was there a little while ago. My average cost is around 19 or 20 cents right now. Alonzo sitting here with 3,200 shares at 17 cents. Hey, Alonzo, maybe, and you don't have to listen to me, but maybe sell like 500 of those shares. If Zomedica goes to 25 cents, then buy them back. Use all that capital to buy back even more shares, like 800 or 700 shares then, if it goes back to 17 cents. Because if we take a look at Zomedica and this chart, we sort of zoom out, you see a lot of the same cyclical pattern. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down, right? It's literally like a roller coaster. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. And it used to be way more volatile, right? It traded a larger range, and now it's really been accumulating within this like sort of smallish range. I'm gonna delete these arrows because this was sort of the hypothesis potentially pre-earnings. But you can see here now we're like really consolidating between the 19 to 21 cent range. That's where we are in the zone. Hey, Sergeant, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for joining. Let's do a quick refresh and see how Zomedica is doing. Did they update? No. We're probably 11 minutes away. So based on sort of last time, they presented at 425. Maybe I'll check how they did the one before that. This one was 445 on March 15th. What time was their call? The call was 4:30. So I guess it really depends on them. So it's sort of hit or miss when they present their earnings results. Worst case scenario, I am here for you guys 4:30. If they haven't sort of posted their results, I'll listen in on the call and let you know exactly what they're saying. I mean, that's what we'll have to do in the short term until the information comes out. And while I'm on the screen talking, if you guys see the results come up, just let me know and I can pull them up as well. That way we can check it on both sides. I'm also going to check out StockTwits, see what they're saying. Was it an earnings miss on bullish? No. So you see here, like people are also getting hyped and waiting for the earnings results. So like big volume coming in. Was earnings as expected? Was it an earnings beat? Was it an earnings smashed, earnings miss? Right? Good luck. Let's do this. Zomedica files Form 10Q. Hate to be a downer, but we all know the market will find something in the report to bring the S&P down after hours. They love to hold a company down. Going to be a lot of pissed off people if Larry doesn't deliver. That's so funny. No way to know what it's going to do. So this person bought a bunch of shares at 20.5 cents. They're going to buy more at 19 cents, and they have a sell order at 25 cents. So like if it sort of moves up or down in one way or another, they're covered, which is cool. Let's just check this out. And for those of you wondering, I'm on investors.zomedica.com. This is the website that sort of has their information. Nothing yet. Yeah. And Zomedica today has actually not been doing too bad. It's up 1.12%, right? Not bad. The last 1 month, it's been down 10%. Last 5 days, it's really traded even. Very anxious for this. So as you remember, this is sort of last time. So we'll have this ready. We have our earnings call and stuff here. We can submit questions if you want to. This goes live in 13 minutes. 32,017 cents. Should have sold. Shake my head. Alonzo, I'm so confused. You literally said my set selling point is $7. I don't care how many years it takes. It goes to zero. Those 32,000 shares. When did you buy them? Did you buy them back in 2020 before the run up, or did you buy them like, what was it, like 4 months ago, 5 months ago? I'm very curious to hear that. Also, what other stocks do you guys buy? So like, I would love to hear, like, are you only buying Zomedica shares? Are you buying like Apple, Disney, Tesla, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, stuff like that? Or are you investing in sort of biologic stocks, penny stocks, meme stocks? What is it? Would love to hear. Like, is it because I've sort of seen a mix. I know some people who just would only buy these penny or micro cap stocks and they avoid all the big stocks. What do you guys think? Wow, before it ran to all-time highs. Wow. When I first bought Zomedica, it was below $1, but like 17 cents back then. That would have been you would have almost made like a 15 to 20x on that, right? That's insane. So you had put in like $5,000 and you turned that $5,000 into like $60,000 to $80,000, and now it's back down to like a little. I mean, you're still up, but like, wow, like that's called being up stuck. That's a hard feeling. Sorry to hear that. Still no update. We got like another 11 minutes before the call, about maybe 6 minutes before they update. Who knows? Let's just check over here. So Zom. Right click. Settings. Where's the after hours? There's an after hours component here too. Events, ideas. Good ask. Okay. I love TradingView, but there's so many options. It's so hard to keep track of what's going on here. Yeah. So the estimate was 7.34 million for their revenue, right? We're gonna see what that, how this comes out, right? 7.34. Can you guys see it? Yeah. Oh yeah. Palantir has huge potential. Like even pre-AI, I had this as like one of my top spec stocks. Now, like, it doesn't make up a significant part of my portfolio. I have like, what is it, like 200 stocks, 200 shares at like an average of $9. I didn't sell it when it went to like 19 bucks like this week or last week, but I didn't buy anymore. And I made a video on this actually. I said, this is a company that like you have an opportunity to get into before like it blows up, especially with like Alex Karp leading the helm. And he really cares about the profitability of the company. He doesn't care about the shareholders. He told the shareholders, look, if you're here to make money off the stock, you're going to be disappointed because I'm not here to support the shareholders. I'm here to support the long-term investors and people who want to see this company become number one in the space. You know, they got tons of defense contracts. And now that AI is like sort of the buzzword, like, you know, if Zomedica said that like truforma was built with AI, man, Zomedica is going to 20x, you know, in one earnings call. Just put the word AI in there. Zomedica implements AI within truforma. Done deal. Snap. Say less. I guess it was rookie mistake. That was my actual first stock purchase. Hey, look, Alonso, one thing I always say is, look, things happen the way they happened, and they couldn't have happened any other way. So like the reality is, you know, where you are, this will set you up for success in the future, right? Don't worry about things that have happened before. You can't do anything about it, right? All you can do is do the right things, do the research, right? You learn. And now next time, you're going to be in an even better situation and a better opportunity, and you'll be able to capitalize on it because of what you learned going through this. 3K shares of Palantir at 25. Holy. You have $75,000 in Palantir. Wow. I have like, what is it, $1,800 in Palantir? It's like insignificant, right? But, you know, I don't want to like say this right now, but I think in like 20 years, that stock will be triple digits. So, you know, that was sort of my thought here. And that's why I haven't swung trade that. I don't have enough shares to swing trade it because I didn't want to sell it now that it was finally going up. You know what I mean? And then the earnings were like, yeah, it was like kind of medium. All right, let's go check out the earnings call. Let's see what's up. We got 2 minutes left potentially till they post, but either way, 7 minutes from now, we're gonna actually see what the earnings call is saying to us. And guys, when I'm gonna unmute this, let me know. I'm gonna say I've unmuted it. Let me know in the chat. Can you hear this? Okay, I've unmuted. Can you hear this like piano music? Yes or no? Tell me, because if you can't hear it, I'll have to recap it. Yeah. Please tell me. 1 trillion. That's a little. There's no way. $1 trillion market cap, you mean, or $1 trillion per share? Like, what do you mean? Like $1 trillion per share, never, because there's not enough liquidity, right? 1 trillion market cap, that makes it like 1/3 the size of value of Apple. Let me just see what Palantir is right now. Palantir is sitting at $32.5 billion, right? So $32.6 billion. $32.6 billion means you need to like 30x the price from here. So $450. I mean, there's a world where that happens. Right? There is a world where that happens for market cap, but it's not going to happen in the next 5-10 years. I think that happens in the next 20 to 30 years. I mean, it could happen sooner, but it has got to explode. It's got to like be not even close number one option, right? I mean, I would love it, and that would be a 30x from here, pretty much a 31x. Any updates on TradingView? Why is this not? I'll zoom out. Yeah, market cap. Let's see this. Okay, 426. Let's do this. Here we go. We got the results up. All right. So here are our results for Q2. I'm going to close this because we don't need this anymore. So a couple things I want to check. 43% to $6 million. What was our estimate? 7.34 million. So we missed on the revenue. We're down. We were $1.34 million short. Remember, when you see these press releases, their goal here is strong marketing. They want to be like, oh my God, look how much we're up compared to whatever. Nah, like you've got to compare this to what the analysts have set as your plan, right? What was your expectations at? So they came short on revenue by $1.3 million. Let's take a look at this. So Larry Heaton, Zomedica's CEO, commented, "We are very pleased with our revenue of $6 million, representing our second highest revenue quarter to date, reflecting a 1.8 million and 43% increase over second quarter 2022 sales of 4.2 million. Second straight quarter in which we've set our highest revenue mark." So that last part is good. You know, good momentum. I hate when they compare quarter over quarter because at the end of the day, that means nothing. You imagine if I was comparing decade over decade. Yeah, you know, 10 years ago this day, we were up like 1,000,000% from there. You know, that means nothing. You've got to look at a couple things. One, what the analysts had expectations for your stock. Did you hit it or not? The answer is no, you missed, right? I guarantee you, if they would have 8 million, they would have put that in their press release. We have not only have we met expectations, but we have sort of, you know, have second highest month or whatever, as well as we have beaten expectations of the market. So that's the first thing. The second thing here is their PulseVet and Assisi products continue to lead the way. So 5.8 million of the 6 million is coming from PulseVet and Assisi. And I'm going to assume most of it is PulseVet. This is still very unacceptable from this company. When you have 6 pillars, right? You have 6 things that are supposed to drive business. Truforma, PulseVet, VetGuardian, TruView, Revo, and Assisi. And you have 2 of them giving you 5.8 of the $6 million. Why are you investing in the other components in this company? What's the plan there? Are these going to be divested? Are these going to be sold off? Why are we burning capital supporting these other 4 franchises? Or is there a plan to make these other ones grow, right? Diagnostic segment revenue comprised of Truforma, Revo Squared, VetGuardian brought in 0.2 million. Yeah, we just talked about that. Continuing a significant climb. So from what? nearly doubling our second quarter revenue of 0.1. Wow, we doubled it. Yeah, 0.1 to 0.2. We expect significant growth to continue now that we have launched both VetGuardian and TruView. Okay, well, we'll see. Consumable revenue was $4 million, an increase of approximately 48%. Capital revenue was $2 million, an increase of approximately 33%. Continued trajectory. Organic growth, 16% over the quarter. Remember, I don't care about second quarter of 2022, but you can see here 98% growth in truforma products and 14% growth in PulseVet. They're pleased with their second quarter gross margins of 67%. I believe last time it was 70%. So gross margins actually came down for this quarter, and they didn't talk about that. Okay. Where are we here? Our transition of truforma product line research and development manufacturing is proceeding to plan. We expect to continue our path to margin improvement as this transition is completed. Following its first quarter launch, we've seen considerable interest in VetGuardian zero-touch vital signs remote monitoring system, and we expect to increase our revenue as we ramp up the introduction of the product through our direct sales force and U.S. animal health distributors. Okay, I'm now going to cover this last part on TruView digital microscopy system, or their internal capability building for the expanded sales territories. This is all just fluff, in my opinion. Like, yeah, great. I don't know if that's really that relevant to us right now. They're pleased with their progress through Q2. Look forward to building on the growth trajectory as we introduce new product platforms into 2023. We will continue to evaluate strategic business development and merger and acquisition opportunities to further bolster our overall growth opportunity in the large and growing animal health sector. We believe we continue to be well positioned to continue this momentum. So before we go into sort of some of the other stuff, let's just be straight up here. They missed expectations, and 2 of their 6 pillars are contributing. I wonder what 5.8 divided by 6.0 is. Yeah, so 96.6% of their revenue is coming from PulseVet, right? PulseVet and thing. Yeah, and by the way, I did notice the earnings call started. They're just going to recap the same stuff. So I want to make sure I sort of go through this with you, and you can listen in on that after the fact. Remember, these earnings calls, they're really meant to sort of be more of a promotional thing. They're more of a marketing scheme. If they hadn't done this, I would have walked through it with you guys. But, the recap exactly, 43% to $6.0 million, right? This is what we have here. So let's cover the other things that are important before we sort of, pass it on. Revenue for the second quarter of 2023 was $6 million, right? We got this here. Growth was in PulseVet, Assisi, 5.8. The other stuff gave 0.2 million. We got that. We got 67% gross margin. Now, they ended the quarter with 142.4 million in cash. Compare that to where they ended last time. They had $147.5 million worth of cash. So they lost about $5 million worth of cash or cash equivalents. And you can see that here. Cash used in the second quarter was $5.1 million. So you have to monitor this. This is so important because if you're a prospective investor, you are looking at how fast they're burning cash. Because if they burn cash too fast, they're going to come for you and dilute your shares. And they've already done that so much, right? We are sitting at almost 1 billion shares of Zomedica because of all the dilutions. So we had the revenue was $6 million. The cost of revenue is $2 million. Operating expenses 10.8. SG&A expense 9.9. And here's the big thing. The net loss was $5.3 million. Not good. The net loss last time was 6.4, and the time before that was where was this? 3.9 the year, like a year before that. But $5.3 million is a significant net loss, and they really haven't done much. So let's take a look to see what else their sort of shares are talking about here. This is just a non-GAAP EBITDA loss. We got the cash equivalency. Yeah, so we just have 1 billion shares outstanding. Let's take a look at sort of how Zomedica is reacting to this. So let's go and just check after hours. So Zomedica is up on this news about 1%. I don't suspect that this will continue. So yeah, so Bruce is saying this here. It's up 5%. Look, their marketing headlines are fantastic, but unless they are giving some guidance after the fact, say, hey, here's what we're going to do, which we did not get. There's zero guidance here, and they would be here before the earnings call, because the earnings call, they will release all the information in this transcript, the press release, and they'll have the earnings call to just read the transcript and then answer questions, right? What you should know here, though, is this is not sustainable. This bump up of 1.35% or the slight increase, at the end of day, this is all because of people sort of just reading these headlines. But the market's going to evaluate this, especially the biggest holders like the institutions, and this is not good. I hate to say it, but if I was a betting man, I would suspect that Zomedica will sell off a tiny bit in response to this. Maybe it won't. I hope it doesn't. But my expectations is this is not a good earnings call, and we've seen how the other earnings calls have gone too. They've been a slight pump after hours, and then the next day you see like a -3 to -5% cut. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, I hope this sort of explains sort of what's been going on. I hope you understand like how I've looked at this. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. Remember, if you haven't done so already, hit subscribe, hit the like button, share the video, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Love to see you again next time. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.